Wow. Look how just how thick, how wide that, or deep from front to back that shot looks.
His face looks big. It looks bloated. It looks like he's got a mouthful of nuts or something.
That Bigfoot could have gotten punched in the face or injured himself and had a fractured jaw or
Punched
something.
in the face would have to be another Bigfoot. What else out there would punch him?
Yeah, or just attack with an animal, or could run into a tree, or another Bigfoot fighting, or he could have fallen down and hit a rock. And when
Funny,
he was younger,
these guys have no medical care. Obamacare is not taking care of Bigfoot. These guys start to lose their sight, their hearing. They get some sort of an infection out there. What happens to them? They just disappear.
Then again, they don't have some of the problems that civilized people have with all the junk food.
Why wouldn't they? Oh, because of the junk food.
Yeah, there's a lot of foods that they say cause cancer, and there's a lot of bad habits like smoking and alcohol. Smoking can cause lung cancer, alcohol, liver problems.
Maybe, just maybe there could be a new diet, the Bigfoot diet. If you just follow how Bigfoot forages and gets his food, you can be healthy as Bigfoot.
I agree with that. There's something.
Look at all these guys that are shooting up steroids. They could be as big as Bigfoot if they just follow the Bigfoot diet.
Yeah. Now, it's something that's interesting. I just heard in the news today where they're saying that now this isn't Bigfoot doesn't have this, but some salamanders, or some creatures have that where they can regenerate limbs, and they have come this much closer with some new experiment where they had
so that we can do it.
Well, they had some kind of salamander that does. I think it was a salamander, something along those lines, that doesn't regenerate and one does, a different type that does, and they found in the one that does regenerate exactly the mechanism. They were able to break it down.
When they're out cruising around, if they get damaged, they break a leg or something happens to them, they can regenerate.
I think they actually had one regenerate a head, not just an arm, a head. Now this is tremendous news because I think it's only a matter of time, and they are working on this type of thing for soldiers. I mean,
that's a new meaning to the term "off with your head."
But there's reason why they're spending money on this, because there's a lot of people in the battlefield.
The military?
Yeah, they get their arms blown off.
Doesn't everything come down from the military? All the scientific, know-how come from the military. Now that's interesting. You mentioned the military. What about these drones? They're not flying these drones, can't zoom in on these Bigfoot out there?
We talked about it in a previous episode. They'd have to fly low because if they're really high in the air, they would have to see through all the cover.
So Bigfoot has always got perfect coverage because he's always in a forested area.
More so than something comes out in the open. But people have spotted these in very open areas. So I don't know.
In the desert, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. In areas like Borrego Springs, for example.
So that's interesting to know. I mean, how do they travel when they're in that vast of an area that's just wide open?
Yeah, and we talked before about the underground tunnels in Borrego Springs that were they military related?
I'm not sure about that. I think they were they're fault related, earthquake fault.
Yes,
related.
That's right. And also the military had tunnels too.
But yeah, I mean, if people are traveling to the depths of the ocean, why wouldn't they be traveling into these tunnels?
Why wouldn't Bigfoot be traveling the tunnels?
No, why wouldn't investigators? Why wouldn't finding Bigfoot or
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, they've got. If I were them, I would look up Borrego Sandman and start there, because if you're gonna do all these episodes in the forest, why don't you do a few in the desert just to mix things up?
Because Bigfoot only exists in the forest. He only walks a certain way. He only stands a certain way. He only looks a certain way. Am I wrong?
Well, in other words, they have to start thinking outside the box.